Hello friends, this video is created to help you work through self-doubt. In my opinion, the right approach to overcoming insecurity should not be about boosting self-esteem, but about restoring it to its natural level. To do this, you need to dig through your past experiences where you were in humiliating situations, or felt inadequate. Imagine a multi-layered cake where each layer represents a situation, and the cake as a whole represents lowered self-esteem. The mistake of many self-esteem methods, as well as your first instinct, is to try to raise your self-esteem. However, the cake itself does not go away. That is why it is important to work with the cake, to eat it, and process it properly. Of course, these are just my metaphors, but this approach has been tested hundreds of times. Let me remind you that self-doubt originates from childhood and adolescence, when the opinions of those around you, parents, classmates, friends, teachers, and other people were crucial to you. Many people have unpleasant memories of school, which contributes to their current state, even though the situations may be completely different. But the most important thing is the feeling that was present both then and now. I remind you about making lists. If you haven't done this yet, write down all the situations in which you felt humiliated in life. It doesn't matter who caused it, a close relative, an older student, or even a stranger. The key factor is that in those situations, you felt humiliation. The second list should contain moments of inadequacy times when you compared yourself to someone else and felt inferior. Each list should include at least 10 episodes from your past. You only need to write the title of each situation in 1 or 2 words. Detailed descriptions are unnecessary. If you haven't made your list yet, pause this video and do it now. If you can't recall at least 10 situations, and you generally feel confident but your self-esteem dropped after a breakup, then write down as many as you can with a minimum of 5. I also remind you about external help. It can be very useful, especially if your life was filled with humiliating experiences and self-doubt has become one of your dominant feelings. If you have no one to help you with this process, you can use my services. Below this video, there is a link where you can contact me and find the terms of working with me. However, most people can handle this step on their own and move from negative self-esteem to a positive one. If you are working with someone who has agreed to help you, you need to use a technique that we'll call deep scanning. In this technique, you will recall situations from the very first memory of humiliation in your life up to the present moment. The deep scanning technique, the process is simple. Your list will be useful if you forget something, but ideally, as you go through it, more memories will surface, things you haven't recalled for years or even decades. Yet they have remained in your memory, affecting your self-esteem. Everything is done with closed eyes. Start with the first humiliating experience you can remember, most likely from childhood. Recall the situation and deeply feel the humiliation for 5 to 10 seconds. Then take a deep breath in and out. Move on to the next situation, following a chronological order. Don't rush, there's no time limit for this process. Recall an episode, feel the humiliation, take a deep breath in and out. Continue this process through all the situations in your life up to the present moment. This is the first version of the technique. The second, enhanced version follows the same structure but with one difference. During the deep breath, you stretch. Raise your arms up and arch your back while maintaining the feeling of humiliation. Imagine yourself stretching in both the present moment and within the memory itself. This is difficult, but it is highly effective. You will notice that it is hard to combine the feeling of humiliation with stretching. Stretching suddenly cuts off the humiliation. For example, imagine you are walking down a school corridor, and suddenly, an older student pours a bucket of dirty water on your head. All the students, including your classmates, laugh at you. You feel humiliated. In this moment, take a deep breath. Stretch, trying to maintain the feeling of humiliation. Then exhale. Then move on to the next situation and continue until the present moment. It does not matter whether the situation was real or imaginary, as long as it triggers the feeling of humiliation. Rewriting your reactions. Once you have processed all your experiences with humiliation, return to the very first situation from your childhood. Now, you need to change only your reaction. The situation remains the same. Your reaction should shift to wholeness, confidence, resilience, calmness, independence, and indifference. For example, in the bucket of water situation, you either laugh along with everyone, smirk slightly, or remain completely unbothered, both internally and externally. You are like Buddha, only you control your emotions, not some older student or laughing classmates. Once you feel this sense of wholeness, take a deep breath in and out and move on to the second situation. Again, the situation remains the same, but your reaction changes. You remain calm, stable, and unaffected by external opinions. No need to fight back or seek revenge. This is not about aggression, but about eliminating the past feeling of humiliation and reclaiming your authentic self. By processing all situations in this way, your self-esteem can rise significantly, leaving you with inner peace and physical relaxation. This technique works best when someone else records your situations and helps keep you focused. The person assisting you should say, after each deep breath, find the next episode of humiliation. Once you find it, you name it, they write it down, and you do a deep breath in and out. Then they say again, find the next episode of humiliation. This continues until you reach the present moment. It is most effective when done in chronological order, from childhood to now. Alternative technique, cleansing. If you cannot do this on your own or with a partner, there is another technique called cleansing, which you have already encountered in step 1. Here is a quick review of the process. You need a list of the most humiliating experience, those where your humiliation was at least 8 out of 10, ideally 10. You also need 3 positive situations where you felt confident or euphoric, but without the presence of an ex-partner. The algorithm. Take the first humiliating situation, deeply feel it, take a deep breath in and out. Immediately switch to the first positive situation. Feel confidence. Take a light breath in and out. Return to the first humiliating situation. Feel it, take a deep breath in, stretch, and exhale. Move to the second positive situation and repeat the process. Continue this way. Once you neutralize the emotions in each situation and no longer feel humiliation, change your reaction to I am who I am and I don't care what happens. Feel relaxation, calmness, and confidence, independent of external validation. If your self-esteem improves but you want more, repeat the same process with your list of inadequacy situations. This will be quicker and easier. The deep scanning technique is more effective since it processes more episodes at various intensity levels, but it requires a helper. Cleansing works just as well, but takes longer. Choose the method that suits you best and do the work. Subscribe to become more confident.